Ben Hunt and the Broncos are edging closer to a reunion after coach Michael Maguire admitted he'd love to have him back at Brisbane. Let's get more on this with our reporter Cody Kay now. Cody, hello to you. This situation is evolving rapidly. How likely is this to happen?
It's crazy. You go back to the start of last week, Ben Hunt is still a contracted Dragons player. Yeah. We all know he's been agitating for a release there for over a year. He finally got it at the back end of last week. He's always said he wants to go home to Brisbane. He's always been pretty public about that, which is what made his situation at the Dragons as captain so bizarre. But look, he said earlier in the week, I'd love to go back there. We know that he doesn't have a club at the moment. He wants to go back to Brisbane. That is where he's from. What really gives this legs is the fact that Michael Maguire, the new Broncos coach, also spoke yesterday and said, yeah, look, we would love to have Ben Hunt back at the club. The issue is going to be how they make that work. Ben Hunt is 34, turns 35 in March. Adam Reynolds is the halfback there. He's also 34. Then they've got Ezra Mam, who's contracted there until 2029. So does that mean that Ben Hunt comes and plays as a 14, or does he become the hooker and replace either Billy Walters or Blake Moser? But the thing is, there's obviously a want from both the club and Ben Hunt to get there. I think it's a matter of when it happens, not if. And this is what Ben Hunt said earlier in the week, followed by what Michael Maguire said yesterday.
Brisbane always have a soft spot for me. I was been involved with the club since I was 12, so they put a lot of work into me. If I had the opportunity to go finish it would be pretty special. But yeah, got to see if that can all work out.
Someone like Ben Scalloway coming to the team would definitely be great. I've obviously competed against him many times when I've coached against him. He's a great player. He's got plenty of experience, and we all know what he's capable of and what he'd bring to the place. So coming in and around players like we have shows how special the Broncos is. So look, that's a work in progress, but I'll talk to the right people once he finishes up with the Aussies.
Now, amidst all of this, the Dragons are trying to save face, but they're copping wax left, right and centre. There was the animosity with which Hunt left the club, the comments from Shane Flanagan about that, the coach at the Dragons, none too happy with the way it's all played out. And then Zac Lomax yesterday from Kangaroos camp delivering a massive backhander. What's he had to say?
Well, no one has put it better than our fearless producer, Richard Reich, who described it as a sidekick to the solar plexus, which is precisely what it was. They're in there preparing for a game against Tonga, the Pacific Cup final, and Zac Lomax has just come out and gone whooshka and said, look, the reason that Ben Hunt and I left, we all know Lomax is going to Parramatta on a 4-year deal. He was given an early release earlier this season, was because we didn't think we could win at the Dragons. Now, that's a pretty extraordinary thing to say, and also the guys that you spent the last few years playing with. And look, Ben Hunt, as we know, a captain, probably an unwilling one, given that he wanted out for so long, but to actually come on record and say, we just don't think that club can win, that is an extraordinary whack and a see you later. I don't think they'll be invited back there anytime soon.
The old boys' days will be...
Yeah. The irony, of course, is that Zac Lomax is going to a Parramatta club that, the Dragons missed the playoffs by one game. The Parramatta Eels missed the wooden spoon by one game. So a pretty extraordinary turn of events, but this is what Zac Lomax had to say yesterday about why he and Ben Hunt decided to leave the Dragons.
He just wants to go and win, and he obviously doesn't feel at the moment that he's going to be able to do that at the Dragons. And for him and his family to leave clubs is a good decision for him. And I back his decision. Obviously, I've done the exact same thing, so we're obviously both on the same page.
It's going to be fascinating when these two players come up against the Dragons at some stage next year. But I guess where this goes the next couple of days remains to be seen. I think, as I said earlier, Ben Hunt's going to end up at the Broncos. It's just where they fit him in. The other side of that coin is he walked away from a $950,000 a year deal at the Dragons. He's not getting paid a cent from now on. There is no way he's getting paid anywhere near that at the Broncos. So he'll be going there for a lot less money and probably playing off the bench.
Yeah, it still has to get market value as well, which the NRL has to determine. So that's another little piece of the puzzle. Much to play out. You'll be right across it for us as always, Cody. Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
Speak again soon.